Welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast, Tennessee Titans Weekly. Jacques,
Hulk,
Jacques,
Hulk.
what up, y'all? What is going on? Happy morning to all of you out there watching the show. Good morning, folks.
Good morning, good morning. Top of the morning to everybody. I hope everybody's doing pretty good. Tighten up from Titan Country. Tennessee Titan Weekly boys, we are back, of course. Training camp has been in full effect and football is back. And I guess everybody, I don't know how you guys are feeling, but I'm super stoked and excited to have football back, man. Let's go.
Man, same for me too, man. I am so excited of this season, man, and football coming back. You know what I'm saying? I've watched some Olympic basketball. That's done. Now it's just kind of like a lull, right?
Right.
Baseball's cool. Don't get me wrong. Baseball gets really good in October. But for right now, I'm ready for some football, bro. It's here, and preseason starting up as far as games next week. And we got camp, like where they are allowing people to go to the practice. So
Right.
Doc, I know you will be able to make it, right?
Oh yeah, Monday, definitely. I don't know if people are aware, but they have a open practice on Monday at the stadium in Nissan Stadium. So
this Monday or it's next Monday, right?
It's next Monday, the 16th. Yes.
16th, right.
And I believe it's first come, first served basis with tickets. So I mean, details you can go on the Tennessee Titans website or whatever. But I think it was told a limited amount of tickets, so I got my tickets. So I'll definitely be down there taking shots and everything and reporting back to the Titan family, man.
Absolutely. And I will definitely do my best to try to make it. As you know, I work downtown Nashville. Got some kids to take to school back and forth, things like that. But if I'm able to make it, I'll be there because this is the first year in a while where I hadn't been to any practices. So, and because they haven't allowed fans to be on the field, and that's fine. But if it's there, I will be there. And if anything, if I'm able to make it, definitely, we got some things popping on that one.
Definitely, man. Definitely. I can't wait, man. And it's gonna be interesting to see. We've heard the thing, but it's gonna be interesting to see it live, man.
Yeah, that's right. It's when you watch it on Instagram and YouTube and things like this, it's cool, right? It's cool. Right. But watching it there is different, man. It's different, And over the years, me and Jacques have been there. We've talked it while practice was going on for what we saw. And what we saw was pretty much on point.
Right. It's facts.
Yep. So, Jacques, speaking of camp, bro,
sir.
Right? So there's been a lot of things going on in camp, right? A lot of activity. You look at the Instagram handle, you look at the news, Channel 5 News always has, always talk about the Titans and what's going on in camp, a lot of things like that. So there's been a lot of buzz going around in camp, man, like all over, bro. So from what you've seen and heard, right, for you, what are some of the interesting things that you've heard about, the Titans in camp so far this year, man?
So shout out to A to Z Sports, man. They post a lot of content. TD, shout out to Teron Davenport. He posts a lot of content, and Jim Schwartz. So not Jim Schwartz, the beat writer. Man, he's slipping my name.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he's slipping my mind. He posts a lot too. But man, Buzz has been, I think, one of the best camps I've heard from the Titans in a long time, maybe even ever. The competition, I keep hearing competition coming from the wide receiver room and the DB room on both sides. And it's amazing to hear and actually see. And what I've been able to see from what videos I've seen posted, I've seen, I think his name is Marcus Johnson. I think it's Marcus Johnson.
The receiver.
Yes. He's putting in work. Chester Rogers is putting in work. Of course, you've heard about Racy McMath and Dez Fitzpatrick. AJ Brown compared Racy. Well, he didn't compare, but he said that he's similar to Julio Jones, and I think that comment got blown out of proportion. But I can see the similar physical traits of Julio Jones, but I'm not going to say he's Julio Jones. He has a lot of work to do. I will say that. I like Racy. That's one of my dark horses. That A, to make the team, and B, that I'm rooting for to eventually take that next step in his career. And it probably won't be to 2 or 3 years, but I'm rooting for the young man. Christian Fulton. I've heard Christian Fulton. I know Mike Vrabel gave Christian Fulton one of the the awards of from the offseason from putting in work. I think it was him, Larrell Murchison, Tierra Tart, and I think Ferkser. And you can see. When looking at video, you can tell, and what I've heard because they don't have too much video on Christian Fulton. But what I've heard is he's making plays. He's intercepting passes from Tannehill. He's just making plays. And that's something that comes with confidence, and that's something will come with offseason work. And like I've said before, the rookies that were rookies last year are kind of rookies this year as well, because they get a full training camp. This is their first time having an actual training camp. So with them actually having an actual training camp, you see the benefits of that's coming. My boy Tier Tart, man. I know we talked about it, me and you, Hawk, on one of our shows, and we talked about the rookies from last year, who was the best rookie. And we both said Tier Tart.
Right. Undrafted, by the way.
Undrafted. And they said his feet is quick, and that's from him playing basketball. And you can tell he's powerful. His get off is quick, and it's just exciting to see. It's one of those things here. Caleb Farley's back. Bud Dupree's back. Like, this training camp, man, is amazing. And they said, I've heard this too, the defense is ahead of the offense. And it really should be the opposite way around, because the defense had more turnovers in the defense, especially in the secondary. But you're hearing that Jack Rabbit is out there teaching. Byard is on a different light. So the buzz that you're hearing is super positive. You've had some negative buzz here there. With Vrabel talking about Dylan Ruse and how he's inconsistent, but he's playing on all sides of the line. He said something about Des Fitzpatrick the other day, with it's just rookies just being inconsistent, and it's just, that's what you expect. So there's nothing to panic about. It's like, don't panic. They're rookies, okay? So it's one of those things. Just be patient. These guys are going to especially get a lot of playing time, and don't be surprised if you don't see Julio, Tannehill. Don't be surprised if you don't see the usual suspects in preseason, because we have to preserve those. And we know Julio, quote unquote, got injured, but I take that with a grain of salt, and I'm like, just go sit down.
Facts. No paper.
Go sit down. AJ, go sit down. Like, just we are preserving y'all for the season and just getting ready. But that's for me, Hawk. It's been a lot. It's a lot. But what about you? What have you heard?
So, man, a lot of the things, all the things you've said, man, and some things that I've heard, even some new information you just brought through too. So that's good. So I'm listening and being educated on it too. And I think we speaking of Jim Wyatt. Is that who you're talking about?
Jim Wyatt. Yes. Right. Jim Wyatt. Yep.
So, so from what I've seen, right, as far as buzz and camp, I've heard the same thing about the defense. The defense is outplaying the offense right now. Okay. And that's really a good thing, because that's been the concern. Right. Yes, Julio has been taking some breaks. AJ Brown has, even Jeffrey Simmons on defense has as well too. And that's okay. You know, you guys are on the team, you make the team, you know, let's not overwork them, right? They need work, but let's not, you know, pull quads and hamstrings and things like that. Let's try to keep them as preserved as possible for the season. So yes, I've been impressed with certain players, and I've been unimpressed with certain things too. So I'll start some things that I have not seen where I'm like, bro, that's the second offense, bro. So, yeah, you know, from what I've seen, Logan Woodside looks like he's kind of struggling out there at the second quarterback position. I'm looking at, against the defense, it doesn't look like, from what I've heard, it doesn't look like the second offense is really doing much at all, like the backup. So that means, again, the starters for the season are going to have to really play very well. As you know, we'll talk a little bit about Deshaun Kaiser is no longer with the team. We'll talk about that. But if you look at, you know, Des Fitzpatrick, the receiver, is doing very well as a rookie. As you mentioned, Racey McGrath as well. I've been impressed with Caleb Farley, the first-round pick, right? He came out there, you know, first is when he got drafted, he wore number 23. And then one day, his first day of practice, I see a big, tall corner number 3. I'm like, who is number 3? Oh, that's Caleb Farley. He wearing his old Virginia Tech jersey, right? You can tell. I saw one clip of him. He was making a play, I think, on Des Fitzpatrick. And Des had ran a good route, and Caleb Farley was right there, you know, being disruptive and things like that. You can tell he's wild, right? You can kind of tell. Yeah. And he looks like he's 6'4" out there. I mean, I know he's like 6'1", 6'2", but he's tall. And you can tell, like, this guy has it. You know what I'm saying? Now, again, once they get the full pads on practice games, all that, then we'll really see. But I think initially, you know, from a guy that just came back from a hurt back with surgery, he's played pretty well. I think he's going to get a lot of playing time. He might be a starter eventually. You know what I mean? That's why you draft him first pick. I mean, your first round pick, and we need corner help. I've heard Christian Fulton doing very well out there with a lot of pass breakups, right?
Interceptions too.
And interceptions, right? I've heard him doing very well. I think Christian Fulton is like, last year, I am from LSU. I was a 3-year starter. That's not a fluke, right? I'm going against Jamar Chases and I'm going against Justin Jefferson's every day. I know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? I was a highly recruited corner at that 5-star recruit. He knows what he's doing. He'll be all right. I've seen a lot of good things about Tier Tart as well, too. And, I told you, Jacques, last year, he was one of my unsung favorite players on the team. As an undrafted rookie, in a whole drafted rookie class, he was the best rookie and he was undrafted. Think about that, right? T.R. Tar's a big wild joker too, man. You know what I'm saying? I was very impressed with what I saw from Rashawn Weaver, right? I saw him on some drills, getting around the corner really quick. Looks like he plays the run very well. He's a lot bigger, at least from what I've seen, versus when he was in college. He looks big. I'm like, man,
he does. He's like
a
facts, no paper.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Right.
And number 48 is on the field. Bud
Dupree.
Okay? I don't know if you guys have seen any clips of him. You know what I'm saying? He just came back from injury. He is no longer on the PUP list. He is ready to go. Man. So, again, he's come back from an injury. If he starts off slow, I understand. He tore his ACL like the last week of the season. So, it's going to take him a while to sort of wake up. But he's out there, and he wants to play. They all see something special. Mike Vrabel was out there dancing. They know they got something special, man. So, to see Vrabel, don't do that. But hey, he's hyped. So I think the buzz is there, bro. The buzz is there.
Hey, shout out to the Raw Room too, because Darren Bates, man, that podcast is funny. He was talking about Vrabel and how Vrabel is one of them dudes that when they get to dancing, they get to knocking in. He said he's a physical dancer, so you can tell he's funny, man. But hey, and just one more point about Caleb Farley. The Titans have not had a corner that's 6'2". What is he, 190 something or 200 something? And he moves like a gazelle.
Right.
Great point, Hawk. Like, I'm not going to jump the gun. We haven't seen him play yet.
Right.
But what I've heard, too, is he's on Jack Rabbit's heels every time trying to learn and study. I love that because, like I said, I'm not going to jump the gun, but I just have an inkling and a feeling. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So speaking of DeShone Kizer, Hawk, I know you mentioned him early. We know he just got released about a couple of days ago. Mm-hmm. And it's one of those things, man. I was kind of rooting for DeShone Kizer. But, I mean, how do you feel about the release? Do you think this helps us? Do you think are we in the same spot? I mean, should have kept him? Talk to me. Talk to us.
Well, as a team, this is why it hurts us as a team. It's not so much him as the player, because apparently he ain't got it, okay? He's been on 4 or 5 teams in 4 or 5 seasons as a first-round pick. It doesn't look good for him in the future for him, and I wish him success, right? But if you can't make it as a backup for the Tennessee Titans, who probably have I'm going to say this. We do have the worst backup quarterback situation in the NFL. I guarantee you that. There's not a team in the league that has questions of a backup more than the Titans. Number 1 in the league, I guarantee you. That's a concern. And it hurts us is because we spent time and energy with this guy. Maybe it could have been someone else that we could have brought in, right? I don't think the Titans are sold on Logan Woodside, right? I just don't think so. And I hope Logan Woodside does well as a backup. But I really think if I had a top 5 concern of the Titans going into the season, it is the backup quarterback situation. What happens if Ryan Tannehill gets hurt? Are you kidding me? What's going to happen? They're going to have to put A.J. Brown at quarterback. I mean, they'll have to do something. You know what I'm saying? I really think the backup quarterback situation needs to be rectified. And Matt Barkley, the clips that I've seen him, again, I'm just saying them clips, he looked like me out there. He looked out of shape. He wasn't throwing strong. And again, he might ball out tomorrow. I don't know. He might be rusty, and I get that. He hadn't played, so that's understood. But I think they need to heat up the backup quarterback situation. I think they need to bring another veteran. There's plenty out there. I know when the season starts, there'll be quarterbacks get released, and you can bring them in. But the backup quarterback situation, you got to have a good backup quarterback, man. Okay? I'm telling you. If something happened to Tannehill, our offense is going to be, we're going to have to count a lot on Derrick Henry, more than what we've had even with Ryan Tannehill. So, DeShone Kizer, good luck to him in his career if he continues to play. For him to get cut this early, that doesn't say well a lot on him. And bring in Matt Barkley, and Matt Barkley took his number. I seen him in practice. Ain't that the shot? No, that's Matt Barkley. What?
Petty.
Number 14, they took his helmet, his shoes.
Right.
I'm like, he just, he basically just got in his locker room and took everything. So it's a concern. So what about for you, man?
Am I concerned? I feel like you're a backup quarterback for a reason. And I feel like if you were a good backup quarterback, then you threaten the starter's job at that point. I will say this to Sean Kaiser. I've heard he wasn't accurate. I heard he has a nice arm, but he just wasn't accurate. And I think that's what ultimately got him cut. And he was on the practice squad last year, and he was the I ain't gonna say it. He was the quarantine quarterback, as they call him. And he had time to sit in there and study, get his craft, get his game right. And quarterback is one of those positions where it's kind of hard to if you've been in the sixth grade or eighth grade and you've been throwing the same way since you've been in the eighth grade, your throwing mechanics is not going to change. Case in point, Tim Tebow. It's just not going to change, okay? So you are what you are, especially in the backup quarterback position. When I look at the backup quarterback position, I think we got spoiled because of when we got Tannehill and we had Mariota, and it was one of those things where we kind of have a good situation with having both, and if one goes down, we're good, and if the other one goes down, at least we know we can win a couple of games. I think as Titans fans, we got spoiled. I would like to see, and this is going to sound crazy, but to increase competition with Tannehill, because we know he's getting older. We don't know what we have, and we'll talk about that in a minute. This is a draft a quarterback very high, third, fourth, second round, something that you see where you can bring in competition and build for the future. There's a kid now, and I forgot his name, man. I've been kind of peeping some of the quarterbacks because I just got a feeling that they're going to have to find one soon. But am I concerned? A little bit, because like you said, if Tannehill goes down, then we screwed. I mean, it is what it is. The weapons that we have, do I think Matt Barkley can do some things? Maybe. But I think they like Logan Woodside because he's smart. He just doesn't have the arm strength. But I will say this, we will find out in preseason. This is why I'm excited about the preseason this year, because you get to see what you really have in Logan Woodside. When we had the preseason, 2 years ago, Logan Woodside showed me that he can play. He's pretty decent. You just got to get protection. He makes right decisions, and he's a natural thrower, right? Remember, he's a natural quarterback. Tannehill converted from a receiver to a quarterback, so he's just a quarterback, right? We're going to find out what we got come Friday, because our first preseason game is against the Falcons Friday. And you're not going to see Tannehill. Tannehill going to be with that hat on, with that shirt on. You're going to see Matt Barkley and Logan Woodside. And that's going to make a break right there. Okay, hey, we either do this or we do that. First play, if you see Woodside driving down the field and he's being methodical and he's doing things, I will feel comfortable. But if he comes out and he throws interception after interception, I'm concerned, because we know what we got in Matt Barkley. Matt Barkley, man, Matt Barkley is He's But you can say the same thing if the Bills, if Josh Allen goes down, they're screwed. Lamar Jackson goes down, it's a wrap. Chiefs, Matt Moore's pretty decent. He ain't getting you no Super Bowl. So I guess this backup quarterback role is one of those things where I think John Robinson will figure it out, because for the past 2 seasons, we drafted quarterbacks super late. Cole McDonald, that didn't work. What was his name? The kid from Washington State, Luke. What was his name?
Yeah,
that's Luke how irrelevant Falk. He was. Luke Falk. Yeah,
right.
He was trash. So it's just those later round quarterbacks. You're not fit them. You're not Tom Brady. Okay, it's not going to happen. You're not Tyrod Taylor. It's not going to happen. So I think we should look at spending draft capital high in the draft to get a decent quarterback. That's somebody that can come in here and fit our scheme. Because remember, we have a specific scheme that we run. We have a specific style of offense that we run. So, Luke, if you think about it, Logan Woodside doesn't have to throw 30 times a game. What they has to do, you got the beast right there, handed to Henry, but play action is going to kill him and bring him down. If you can't throw it to A.J. Brown or Julio Jones, you suck, okay? You're trash, okay?
Yep.
You suck at that
Facts,
point.
no paper.
Like, seriously, you have weapons galore. At that point, it's about you, not them. So, I think, Hawk, if we'll find out Friday. We'll find out in these next 3 games what we got. And then we'll definitely revisit this conversation, I think, after that game Friday, and we'll reevaluate what we have. Because I don't think Tannehill is going to get no PT time at all, unless they really want him to do that. And speaking of Tannehill, talk to us, Hawk. Go ahead, Hawk.
Yeah, absolutely. So speaking of Ryan Tannehill, and mark my words, I might be wrong, but I do think when the game one starts in the NFL season, the backup quarterback is going to be some veteran quarterback. Mark my words. I don't think it'll be Woodside nor Matt Barkley, but we'll see. I might be wrong, but we'll see. We'll see.
Well, if they do that, Hawk, they better bring in a third competition real quick.
I know it has to be very quick. It has to be very quick, like tomorrow, right? So Ryan Tannehill. I really think this is the most important topic of this show, bro.
Yes.
Okay. So from what we've seen, now again, we haven't been there physically. No one's been there physically, unless you work for the Titans, right? It looks like Ryan Tannehill's out there throwing interceptions. And Jacques shared with me earlier that Ryan Tannehill, how many interceptions he's had?
Last time I counted, I think he threw one yesterday. I think so. Or was it the day before? I think.
How much total? How many? Seven. Yeah. Okay. So we know it's, camp. You know what I'm saying? We know that, Ryan Tannehill, since he's been here, hasn't thrown a lot of interceptions. He's been very efficient in that regard. Even Joe Burrow with the Bengals has had some struggles. Kirk Cousins has. I've heard other quarterbacks have had struggles so far in the preseason.
Oh, that's news. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So with Ryan Tannehill right now, of course he's our star. That's not the question at all. Ryan Tannehill is the dude. Okay, Ryan Tannehill, RT17, Ryan Tannehill, you are the dude. But for right now, as of today, August 8th, do you have concerns of Ryan Tannehill? Or hold up, or okay, check this out. Or this is what I hope.
Okay,
is our defense getting better?
Oh, okay.
Is our defense finally saying, hey, man, enough of this bull crap. We were trash last year. We were terrible. We here now. We getting better every day. So, I mean, what do you think, Jacques? It's got to be one of the two, right?
So, to answer number one, am I concerned? No, I'm not concerned. We know Tannehill's been efficient throughout this time he's been with the Titans. I feel like a lot of people are waiting for Tannehill to fail so they can say, oh, I told you he sucked. I told you he sucked. And it's not fair to him because he's in a good situation. And just because he's not Patrick Mahomes, he throws 345 yards a game. It is what it is. He already get disrespected. But am I concerned? No. You got to think about what he's working with. He's working with new receivers, okay? These are rookies. These are third stringers, fourth stringers, 3 or 4 year guys that might be running the wrong routes or not running the correct routes. Some things I have heard where he's been inaccurate on some plays, on some throws, but that's camp or whatever. It's not a game situation. And somebody said, "Could it be the shot?" Or I was like, "Hey, that's hilarious." I said, "Y'all funny." But no, I don't have no concerns. Now, I will say this to answer your other question. I feel like the defense has gotten better. Now, competition on this team the competition on this team has never been like this before. We can even go back to the Steve McNair days and Eddie George days. We had in those days, in Titans fans, if you're not old enough to remember, me and Hawk are, you always had 3 or 4 guys, right? 3 or 4 guys. There's always 3 or 4 guys. The Titans have a slew of almost like 22 guys that are good, that have names, that are out here making plays. The competition is really heavy. It's like if you're on your job, and me and Hawk know this, you got competition, and that next person over here is better than you, and this person's over here better than you trying to be better than them. What happens is it makes all 3 of y'all dogs. It makes all 3 of y'all beasts. So when it's time to really get out there and do something, it becomes second nature. What you're seeing is the defense. It was a fluke last year. I also heard something crazy too that Shane Bowen said and that Rashawn Evans said, and I want to say somebody else said this, that Shane Bowen was never in the meeting rooms with the position groups, but he's supposed to be the defensive coordinator. Okay, that's super concerning, okay? And I said, well, no wonder our defense was trash last year. He didn't get a chance to go in there and talk to the DBs. He didn't get to build these relationships. What happened? Now he gets to build these relationships, and then you're seeing the result of him building those relationships. Christian Fulton is out there. I heard there was one practice that they said Christian Fulton could have had 3 interceptions. 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay? Off of Tannehill. Off of Tannehill, okay? What I'm hearing is, of course, A.J. Brown and Julio Jones are not on the field at the same time. So Julio's not playing. He's not practicing. AJ practices maybe 65% of the time. Team drills, he's not out there. He might run 1 or 2 team drills, and that's it. So the defense is going against, and the secondary is going against the second tier guys. Now, guys, let's look at our division. We don't have no Deshaun D-Hop in our division no more. We have Michael Pittman, yes.
Right.
But to me, I'm sorry, it's Colts fans. He's not a Julio Jones or AJ Brown, and you can get mad at me. Y'all can get mad at me all you want to. I don't care. Okay, I don't care. Take that sound bite and cut it, Hawk. I don't care. But when I look at it, I'm like, okay, the competition that they're going against on the second team offense is the guys that you're going to see in the division.
Right.
The Texans got a bunch of B-lists. They just sent Randall Cobb back to the Packers. So who does the Texans got? Brandon Cooks? That's the equivalent to Chester Rogers, just a better version. Okay? Yeah, I'm going there today. Yes. So when I look at this, I'm like, okay, this is your competition that you're going to be going against. Amani Hooker's out there picking off balls. Caleb Farley, he almost had one. So this is telling me we're not giving credit to our defense. We're not giving credit to our secondary. No, I'm not concerned with Tannehill throwing interceptions because, first of all, he ain't had his 2 guys out there. You play them on 7-on-7, sometimes 11-on-11, but mostly 7-on-7, and it's a mano-a-mano. These guys are hungry, and the energy's out the roof, and I think it's just one of those things. Our energy's better than y'all's right now, and we're just willing to make more plays. So you just see the competition. Now, we would really know if our secondary is the issues when we practice against Tampa Bay. We go against Mike Evans, Godwin, and who's their third?
Antonio Brown, bro.
Antonio Brown.
And Gronk.
You going to really get tested. Now, if we're doing that against them, guys, Super Bowl.
Right.
Super Bowl, okay? Super Bowl.
Yep.
What about you, Hawk? Talk to me.
So Ryan Tannehill throwing interceptions, is that a concern? No. Simple answer, no. I'm not concerned about it because it's camp. It can happen sometimes. It does. Players sometimes struggle in camp. It is what it is. But a lot of new things going on. They didn't even really have camp last year, right? So it's kind of like,
right.
It's a whole change of guard right now. New players, new things, new receivers. Even Julio's new. Just trying to adjust to everything, right? He don't have Jonnu out there, right? He don't have Corey Davis out there. So he's just trying to adjust, right? Those were guys he had been throwing to for the past 2 seasons. Now some different people. That's fine. The defense, I'm very proud of how hard they've been playing so far. We're getting interceptions, making plays. And as I mentioned earlier, I've heard the defense has really stepped up. Now, I will say, too, to be better than our defense last year, it ain't going to take much. Okay? So I'm just being honest, right? It doesn't. It doesn't take much. It don't take much to be better than what we were. If we were worse than we were last year, we're not winning a football game, dog. I don't care how good our offense is, man.
That is
okay?
True.
Our offense will be the greatest. But if our defense is worse than last year, we are trash. But at the same time, I'm giving them credit, man. Again, we got new blood out there. You got Bud Dupree. You got Jack Rabbit out there. For those Janoris Jenkins. You got Caleb Farley out there. You got
Elijah Molden
out there. Exactly. You got Jayon Brown back on the field. You know what I'm saying? Now you got Amani Hooker as a full-time starter. So you got guys that are hungry. Kevin Byard is out there balling. So I've been very, very happy from what I've heard on the defense. And as I mentioned, mark my words, like I said, if our defense can just be middle of the pack. Now, Ryan Tannehill don't be throwing no picks. If our defense could be middle of the pack, we can win the Super Bowl. Just be the middle. I don't know if you agree with this. Okay. I don't think our defense is a top 5 defense nor top 10. I don't see it yet. I don't. But if we could be 14, we have the talent to at least be in the middle. If we are better than that, we will win the Super Bowl guaranteed. If we're like a top 5 defense.
Okay.
But right now, it's going to take some time. Okay, maybe the next year, maybe. But this year, it just takes time. You know what I'm saying? The jail is the defense. Most defenses have been together. Tampa Bay's defense has been together for 3 seasons, okay? Right. They was just like, offense, can y'all please wake up? We got a good defense. Wake up, right? You look at the Seahawks in the past. You look at the Denver Broncos. Denver still has a good defense. These are defenses that have been together for 3 to 4 seasons. You know what I'm saying? So it's just going to take time. But very proud of what I'm hearing from the defense. Great job, Tennessee. Let's make it happen, man. Let's make it happen.
Also, to add to that, Hawk, Nico Autry, we ain't talk about him.
Wow.
Him and Jeffrey Simmons. let me say this. I believe our run defense is going to be amazing. Yeah. I feel like our run defense is going to be something to marvel at because of Tia Tart, Autry, Jeffrey Simmons are able to stop Rashawn Weaver. Like you said, I seen him coming on the outside. Bud Dupree seems hungry. Like you said earlier, it's a wait and see type thing. I really can't judge our defense until I will judge our defense when we had a preseason game, because you're not going to see Jack Rabbit. You're going to see a lot of Christian Fulton. You will see a lot of Caleb Farley. You see a lot of Elijah Molden, but we don't have to see Jack Rabbit. Go sit down. Byard, we really don't have to see Byard. Monty Hooker, we might see Amani Hooker because he has to get that playing time, but I really don't want to see him. Monty Rice, you won't see Jayon. Rashawn, you need to go out there. Never mind. Rashawn, go out there and get you some time. John Simon, they have said John Simon has been making amazing plays. It's just, we have so much talent on this team and so many names that you kind of forget sometimes. Oh, we got him. I kind of forgot about Bud Dupree until they said they activated him off the PUP list. And I was like, oh, shoot, we do got Bud Dupree. This is amazing. This is pretty dope. You added to the pot. I will say this. What you just said earlier, Hawk, is a showstopper, because you just said it might not happen this year, but it can definitely happen next year. And I can definitely see that. So,
yep.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that ends the show, folks. Thank you as always for tuning in. As always, we will be covering the Tennessee Titans. We got practices that's coming up, games. Hey, the season's about to start, y'all. You best be ready. You know how we do. Post and pregame shows, collabs. Hey, be ready. Be ready. So if you want to check us out as well on Instagram, you can check us out at Tennessee Titans Weekly, as well on Twitter at Titans Weekly 24/7. If you want to contact us, you can contact us at Tennessee Titans Weekly at gmail.com, folks.
Yes, sir. Also, hey, like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The notification bell, hit that. It's by the subscribe button. It'll definitely let you know when we go live, when we posting any new content. And also, we're on a journey to get to 2,000 subscribers. Let's hit that journey, but at least before game 5. Let's do that, man. Let's get there. Like I say every show, share the show. Tell your auntie, your uncle, your auntie, your granny, your granddaddy, your dog, your cat. Tell everybody, because it's some great Titans content. And as Hawk said, we got a bunch of collabs coming down the road. Y'all know how we do. We're going to bring that heat and that energy, and we're going to get it cracking. And we got some new things coming down the pipeline. We ain't going to tell y'all yet.
Yep.
But y'all just wait on it. I think y'all like it. Y'all definitely going to like it.
Absolutely. Well, folks, to you and yours, tighten up. Let's get it rolling.
Yes, sir.
You can tell your mom, your dad, your cousin, and everybody. Facts.
No paper.
Yes, sir.